Welcome everybody and thank you for joining me. So as most people know by this point, Xbox has been working hard on bringing gaming to more platforms that are not console. They started off by including PC to the point where there is now even a full version of Game Pass, as well as releasing all of their first party titles on the platform. Since then they have been working hard on cloud gaming so that games can be more accessible through mobile, and their latest invention is an app that will allow you to play on TVs without a console needed. Xbox has decided to make the shift from focusing on Xbox as a console and instead now focus on Xbox as a platform, or even an ecosystem if you will. Now in the last week, Phil Spencer had an interview where he went over some of the plans that he had in store for gaming, and some pretty interesting things were said. Now as most people know, gaming has grown a lot over the last few years, and that includes Xbox Game Pass that has shown a massive growth over the last year or so. Now a lot of this can be attributed to the lockdown where a lot of people had to stay inside, and it is also during this time that we saw a massive increase for multiplayer games and also just gaming overall. Now a large part of what Xbox is trying to do is to connect more people to play, and Phil Spencer has stated on many occasions that the goal is to reach out to more people, and we have seen that with PC, mobile and even Game Pass. That includes people that otherwise might not have been able to afford a $70 game. Now the latest example of Xbox trying to reach out, of course, is this app that will allow you to game on TVs without a console needed. Now for this, of course, a Wi-Fi TV will be needed, but even if you have an older TV, Xbox is still offering you a solution, and that will be a pocket-sized streaming box that will allow you the necessary access if your TV is a little bit older and does not come with Wi-Fi. Now Phil Spencer said in his interview with Game Radar, "I don't mean this in a negative way, but video games started as an enthusiast, almost hobbyist driven industry, and gamer was the label that we wore. Now we have more than 3 billion people playing video games, and when nearly half of the world does something, I don't know how we designate between a gamer and non-gamer." Spencer's ambition is to put Xbox game within reach of everyone on the planet, regardless of what tech they have, and that is going to require a rethink of what games and game consoles are. And I think he is absolutely correct when he says that we need to rethink what gaming is. We have seen a drastic change in how we consume movies, from DVDs and Blu-ray players to Netflix and Amazon Prime. We have even seen a shift from cinema only releases to streaming first releases, not to mention how iTunes and Spotify has changed the music industry. It is only logical that the gaming industry will go through similar type of changes, and with that we will also just have to redefine how we think of gaming overall. But Phil Spencer goes on to say in his interview, we should just all recognize that not everybody grew up with a controller in their hand. I don't envy movies or TVs or books, but I think there is an accessibility that those media have. That is something that we should think about as an industry. Let's say you want to go and play the next great console game, so I have to go out and buy this console, I have to hook it up, I don't know how to use a controller because I haven't done that before, so I'm gonna have to practice and learn. We think a lot about that accessibility point, not to bring it back to Game Pass, but some of that is financial. Some of those games are $70, and that is a lot of money compared to those other art forms that we just talked about. Now again, this is something that I talk about a lot as well, but a service like Game Pass does go a long way to assist those who cannot afford $70 per game. Game Pass is a big reason why I went with Xbox over PlayStation. As a person who can only afford one platform, Xbox just seems more affordable. Now obviously when you talk about Xbox, a comparison to PlayStation gets made, but Phil Spencer has made it clear that the strategy is not just to follow or to copy PlayStation or any other platform for that matter. Now obviously this is good. I do want platforms to be different. It gives you a reason to just potentially buy 2 consoles should you be in that position, and just get completely different experiences, and different experiences goes deeper than just exclusive. Our strategy is not just to be like someone else. I get a push sometimes of where is your version of this or that game, and I I've been in this industry for a long time. I have tons of respect for creators on all platforms, and I know many of them, but it is good that we are doing something different than what other platforms are doing. We are not in this business of just trying to create the green version of somebody else's blue or red colored platform. That is not an example of creativity that I want to see in the games industry. And again, I completely agree, finding your own path, much like what Nintendo did, is the only way to go. Nintendo have completely separated themselves from this whole console war thing while also experiencing a lot of success. And again, I completely agree, finding your own path, much like what Nintendo did, is the only way. Nintendo have completely separated themselves from the whole console war thing, and they are doing this while also experiencing some great success. Now, Phil Spencer in this interview actually goes on to say a few more interesting things, but this is where I'm going to end it for now. If you are interested in hearing more, please go and click the link in the description. On that note though, thank you very much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please consider hitting that like button. If you would like to see more videos like this, please consider subscribing, and as always, please remember to stay safe, wash your hands, don't touch your face, and I hope to see you again soon.